Welcome back to the Radio Hyperactivity channel and what's shaping up to be yet another obsession in radio on my part. If you've been watching for a while, you've seen me do a lot of stuff with LoRa APRS, which I've had great fun with for the last year and a half. And now I just stumbled onto something called MeshCore, which is also fantastically cool. So I'm looking forward to showing you lots and lots of cool MeshCore things going forwards. But for today, we will start with the first thing you need to do MeshCore, which is what's called a MeshCore Companion. This is this little thing. This has got a Heltec V3 board in it and also a 2000 milliamp hour battery. I don't know why they can't simply call it a 2 amp hour battery, but yeah, I guess marketing. If you want to see how to build and flash this thing to get on the MeshCore network, stick around. Let's start building this thing. To build your own, you're going to need a battery. This is a 2 amp hour battery. You can fit actually a 3 amp hour battery in this, but I don't have one currently, so I'm just using the 2 amp hour battery. It's still going to work quite well. You need one of the LoRa 32 boards from Heltec. This is a V3. Let's see if I can get you close enough to see that. It's a V3 board. You can build this out of a lot of other boards, but for this build, this is what we're using, and this is what's going to fit in the enclosure that's linked in the video description. You're going to need basically 4 3D printed parts. 2 of them are these tiny little, let me zoom you in. Let's see, there we go. 2 of them are these tiny little buttons, and there's the back cover and the front cover for the unit. Before we start assembling the thing and programming it, we also need to connect a proper power cable to the battery, because let's see, the power connector for the unit, it's let's see if I can show you these. It's quite a bit smaller than the power connector that comes on at least the battery that I have. Maybe if you're lucky, you can manage to buy this battery with the proper connector. Otherwise, if you don't, luckily there is a connector coming with the board from Heltec. So first thing to do, solder this onto the battery. One important thing to remember when you do this is to cut just one of the wires at a time, because this little battery, believe it or not, has an awful lot of energy in it. So if you short it, that well, it could be ugly. So just do one wire at a time when doing this, and you should be all right. It should be difficult to short it with as long as you only short one wire at a time. Also, we're going to try and find some heat shrink. And once we have them connected, we'll use some of this tiny heat shrink to try and isolate them properly. First of all, let's see. I don't think we need all of this cable. I think about half of it should be enough for what we need inside the case. So let's cut off the excess and once again remove some isolation from the cables. We'll thread the I don't think we're going to need the full length of this, so we'll cut them in half. And we'll thread it onto the long wire of the connector. We'll quickly just tin the wire ends. There we go, and then simply solder them together like that, and place the heat shrink on top. And of course I will need to get a lighter, a cigarette lighter to shrink this thing. Let's see. I think that'll do it. And next up is the black wire. Snip that as well. Remove some isolation. Thread the heat shrink. And tin the ends before we try and solder them together. Let's see if we can use a little bit less thin this time. Here we go. Looks all right, and heat shrink. And we just apply a little bit of heat, and that should do it. Maybe try not to heat the battery too much. I can't really imagine it being such a good idea. There we go. That was the battery connector. Let me clean up and we'll continue. We'll try to keep it at this zoom level. I don't know if I said, but the links for where you can download this is going to be in the video description. The text on the front and on the back, that's put in when I sliced it in the slicer. So if you want to put your own text, then of course you can do that. I have enclosures like this for LoRa APRS as well, so I think it's useful to have MeshCore on the front. Let's start assembling this thing. It should be fairly easy at this point. First of all, I think this is a sort of a ritual for some people. I've never really understood the attraction, but let's remove the screen protector. And then we are ready to insert. No, not quite yet. Before we insert it, we need to attach the antenna connector, which is yeah, it's not really difficult, but it's fiddly work, and you have to use a lot more power than you'd think was natural for such a tiny connector. So let's see if I can do this without breaking anything. No. Let's try again. Let's just check. No, I didn't break anything. And once again, just place it directly over where it's supposed to go and push it directly downwards. And there we go. There we have it. Let's see if I can show you. There. That's what it's supposed to look like. So with that attached, we can insert the unit into, no we can't. We have to put the buttons in first. These, the big part of the button, oops, goes on the inside. And again, this is a little bit fiddly work, so I'll try to use some tweezers to get them entered in their holes. Nope. Let's try again. Okay, this was a lot more difficult than it needed to be. Come on. There we go, that was one. And then the other one, without disturbing the one that's already in there. Let's see. That was a lot easier. We have the buttons. We have the antenna wire connected. Then we can insert the unit. And as you can hopefully see, that USB, come on, focus. There we go. The USB-C connection is slightly protruding from the board. And that's supposed to go into this nice opening down here. See if we can manage without losing the buttons. I think that does it. And as you can see, you have to fold the antenna. You see this? Yeah, I have to fold the antenna wire to the side so it doesn't get stuck up here. And with that, it sort of looks quite perfect, I think. Let's see if you can see the nice finish with the USB-C connector. And we can also now verify that we get the nice clicking sound when pushing the buttons, because we're going to need these. That seems to be working, looking all right. Maybe it would have been easier to put the antenna connector in the top here before we put that in, but yeah, too late to think about that now. Let's see if we can force it in there. This is of course a 3D printed hole, so it might not be completely round, but yeah. Let's see once again if I can show you. It's very dark, but yeah, nice fit. And put the locking washer and the nut on the outside. And I found it's a very good idea to get this nice and tight before you close the enclosure up, because if this loosens afterwards, it's going to be rather difficult to tighten it. You have to open the case to do that. So make sure you tighten this as well as you dare. Yeah, that's about all I dare. So now I think we need to figure out what to do with this cable, and I think just placing it down into the opening like this should be all right. If you have the 3 amp hour or 3000 milliamp hours, amazingly enough it's called, battery, then it's probably going to take up all the space available over the board. I only have the 2 amp hour or 2000 milliamp hour battery, so I have some spare room. But yeah, if you get the big battery, it's probably going to take up all of the space up here. I think that's come on, cooperate a little bit, please. Basically, you want to try and get this nicely placed before you close it up, so that you don't accidentally squish it when you close the lid. And yeah, I think that should be enough. The next thing is to connect the power connector, and looking at it, I can see that that goes in this way. Oh, this is going to be hard to see. The this way is the top of the connector when you connect it. If you look at where the holes are in the connector, you'll see they're towards the bottom of it, and you can also see that at the prongs in this socket are towards the bottom. So that's how I figured out the right orientation. Let's try and get that connector seated. That seems to have worked, and I've found that if I put just a tiny bit of paper, nicely folded up paper, in the enclosure, it's going to be a much nicer fit when you actually put the lid on. So let's try and do that this time as well. Is that too wide? Yeah, probably is. So we'll do this. Put that in there. The battery in like so. And the last step is to fit the enclosure, and you can see the little recess in the enclosure that goes towards the bottom end where the USB-C connector is, and there's also a little dent in the top end that goes towards the antenna. So now let's try and see if we can convince all the cables to stay inside while we close this up. And if you print this on a printer that does good dimension, it's going to snap very satisfyingly to a close. Let's listen and see. Ooh. Yeah, that I think worked very nice. And if you listen, the only shaking sound you can hear are the buttons on here. So very nice, we got it together. We'll put on the small antenna, and then it's time to program it. So I'll meet you on the computer screen, and we'll go through programming the MeshCore Companion on this device. Programming this thing is really simple, thanks to the nice web installer that's provided by the MeshCore project. You just hook it up with the USB-C cable, and it presents itself as a serial port that you can use for programming. To do the programming, you will need to use either Edge or Google Chrome. Sadly, you can't use any of the other nicer browsers, but yeah, I usually keep Chrome installed on a computer just for cases like this. So you will need to find your device. In our case, we're looking for the Heltec V3 device, so you just click there. You also see a picture of it in case it's unclear whether or not you got the right device. then you need to decide what role to program into it. And today we're doing a companion, a Bluetooth companion, so that I can keep this with me in my pocket or attached to my backpack and use the companion app on my iPhone. So we select companion Bluetooth, and basically we decide to erase the device, seeing as this is a fresh install, and we press the flash button, select the serial port that's it's connected to. If you have several serial ports and you're unsure which one it is, then try this once with the device disconnected and then afterwards with the device connected, and you should see what serial port materializes when you actually connect the device. So selecting the serial port, pressing the connect button, and off we go. It's doing the flashing, and I'm gonna fast forward through this because it's rather boring to watch. And we are done. Hard resetting via RTS pin. This says in the flash application, and we have the firmware installed in this unit. If the screen goes blank, just push the upper button or the user button, and you will see that it's set up with the MeshCore firmware, and it's giving you a pin that you can use when you connect it to your phone. So the next step would be to connect this to a phone. You need to download the MeshCore Companion app. And when you try to connect, it will ask you for the pin code for the Bluetooth connection, and that's displayed on the screen. That's a random code created when you install this thing. I think the next thing that I would want to do is set up a MeshCore repeater, and also at some point probably going through all the options in the app and actually testing these things and doing some cool messaging. There are people around this area, not really close to me, but not that far away. So if I get a repeater at a good location, I should probably be able to communicate with them. If this is something you think you'd be interested in seeing, then please consider subscribing. If you liked this video, and I sincerely hope you did since you watched it all the way to the end, then please consider giving me a thumbs up or a like. If you have any comments as to what I did, want to share with me or other viewers of the video, please leave the comments below. That's always both useful and entertaining to see the comments that I get on my videos. Other than that, I will just say until next time, thank you so much for watching.